there's one place that should be earnestly involved in understanding volcanoes and volcanic eruptions, it should be the Philippines. Our country sits right on the infamous Pacific Rim's Ring of Fire. A unique tectonic setting ideal to volcanic formation. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, will help us understand volcanoes and how to be safe in times of eruptions.
Dear viewers on television and in the internet, as well as our listeners on the radio, we welcome you here right at the very heart of the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology in Quezon City. Dynamic Living, your longest-running television talk show in Hope Channel Philippines, is very much honored to present our guest in our episode, Understanding Volcanoes. We have here Mr. Jeffrey Perez. He is the Supervising Science Research Specialist and a geologist by profession at that. Welcome to Dynamic Living, Jeffrey.
Good day, and thank you for inviting PHIVOLCS to your show.
And of course, it's always an honor kasi alam naman natin kung ano yung mga nangyayari sa palibot natin, Jeffrey. Pero like sinabi ko kanina sa'yo before the start of the show, ako din naman naguguluhan paano ba na-form or na-create ang volcano. Can you walk us through that in a very simple manner?
Okay, let's go to the setup of the Philippines. Yung scenario natin sa Philippines. In the Philippines, as we all know, there are more than 300 volcanoes.
Entire Philippines
In the entire Philippines. Ganon karami yung volcanoes sa Pilipinas. So how do volcanoes form? They are formed because of, babalik tayo dun sa tectonic setting of the Philippines. If we remove all the oceans, all the sea, all the bodies of water, what we can see are blocks of rocks. And these blocks of rocks are moving. It's just like the shell of an egg. Na binagsak natin yung egg and then basag-basag. So if we remove all the oceans, the sea, what we can see are blocks of rocks. And these blocks of rocks, when they are moving, sometimes they will collide, and sometimes some of these blocks move downward. If they go downward, and then the materials na bagong pumasok, they will be melted, and that will form a volcano.
Oo, kaya ganun tayo kadami.
Kaya ganun tayo kadami.
Sa buong mundo ba, tayo ang may maraming volcanoes?
Actually, most of the volcanoes are located dun sa tinatawag na Pacific Ring of Fire. So, Philippines, Japan, parts of Pacific Ocean, yung mga islands dito, these are volcanic areas din. So, maraming volcanoes, not only in the Philippines, but around the Pacific Ring of Fire.
Gaano ka-importante or kahalaga na we understand, like yung mga ordinaryong manunood natin or nakikinig na maintindihan nila na hetong volcano na ito ay ganito, para saan ito?
Okay, in terms of hazard, nakita natin yung effect ng isang pagsabog ng volcano during the Pinatubo eruption in 1991. The 1991 eruption of Pinatubo is one of the largest eruption in the last century. Isa siya sa pinakamalakas.
Alam mo ba, Jeffrey, na nandito ako noon? Okay. I was here in Manila when it happened. And the lahar, you know, di ba? Parang umabot dito yon. So kahit na yung buhok mo na kulay itim, mako-covered by white ash.
Yeah, actually that's one of the problem, yung ash na yon. Yung ash na yon, di ba, from ang Pinatubo is in the boundaries of Pampanga, Zambales, and Tarlac.
Yes.
That's on the boundary. But the ash went up to here in Metro Manila, Bicol, in West Philippine Sea, and actually there are traces of ash in Indian Ocean.
So ganun kalayo at kalawak yung kanyang narating ng kanyang ash niya. And I would remember also at the time, no, na para bang we had to go there and do a medical mission. And we cannot, ride the ordinary vehicles. You have to have the amphibians. Di ba kasi lubog na lubog yun siya.
Because of the lahar. These are lahars are ash produced by the volcano, but because of erosion and water, it's a combination of ash and water, so yun yung nagiging lahar. So
lahat ba ng volcanoes, pag nag-i-erupt sila, magkakaroon ng lahar or yung mud flow?
Yes. In most of the volcanoes, especially if they are producing mga ash, mga pyroclastic materials, if they are remobilized by flood, by water, and then they will form lahars. So that's one of the hazards. So it's very important because out of the 300 volcanoes, 24 of these are active volcanoes.
So out of 324, that's almost 10% of the total number that we have.
Yes.
And these are not located just in one area, di ba?
Yes.
Parang scattered all over the Philippines.
Yes, scattered all over the Philippines, 24 of these. And when we say active volcanoes, these are volcanoes that have erupted during our historical times. It means from the past 600 years, we have history of earthquakes in these 24 active volcanoes, or they have already erupted for the past 10,000 years.
Pero pag sinabi mong heto sila na active and they have been, we have already experienced they're being active. Is it possible na hetong mga inactive na mas marami, which is more than 200, is there a possibility that they can also become active?
Okay, let's classify.
Yes.
There are 24 active volcanoes and 27 of these are potentially active volcanoes. When we say potentially active volcanoes, in terms of the morphology of the volcano, it looks very young, but we don't have any evidence that it has erupted within the last 10,000 years. So 24 plus 27, these are active and potentially
50 plus already.
50 plus. But in other areas, for example, out of the more than 50, 250, more than 250 of these are inactive. They don't have the potential to erupt.
In other words, kumbaga wala nang pag-asa na sila ay magiging threat to us.
Yes.
But the 27 will have the possibility.
Yeah, 27 plus the 24.
Plus the 24.
Yes. So ganun karami. And actually, do sa 24 na yon, PHIVOLCS is monitoring the 8 most active volcanoes. So we have to select. Kumbaga.
So ibig sabihin, out of the 24, meron ka pang 8. Kumbaga,
out of the 24.
Out of the 24.
Yeah.
So yung 8 yun, can we identify them?
Okay, these are from the zone. We have Pinatubo, Taal Volcano, Mayon, Bulusan, and then we have in Leyte, in St. Bernard, there's a volcano there, and then in Mindanao we have the Hibok-Hibok.
In Camiguin.
This is an active volcano, and then in General Santos we have the Musuan and Parker.
And in Davao, do we also have one?
In Davao, Mount Apo is a potentially active volcano.
Pag sinabi mong potentially active volcano, will we be able to predict also, and based on your studies na heto potentially active, we classify it as potentially active, pagdating ng ilang years, they will become active, or we do not have the capacity to be able to predict?
Okay, that's the good thing with volcanoes. Compared to an earthquake cannot be predicted when will it happen. But for a volcano, before it will erupt, it will give us signs. So may mga sintomas siya. Kumbaga sa medical field, there's a symptoms na maaaring pumutok na yung isang volcano. What are these? First, if there are volcanic earthquakes. There are lots of volcanic earthquakes. Ibig sabihin,
pag sinabi mong volcanic earthquakes, heto, we're looking at this now. So you have here actually a model.
A model of Mayon
volcano.
Yes.
So pag sinabi mong volcanic earthquakes dito sa palibot niya?
Yeah, the source of the earthquake is within the volcano.
Within the volcano, okay.
So ibig sabihin lang nun, let's imagine a volcano na para siyang toothpaste. Na pag in-squeeze natin, toothpaste tube, pag in-squeeze natin, lalabas yung toothpaste. So if there are changes in the pressure and temperature within the volcano, yung sa loob ng volcano, it will generate or it will initiate movement of magma. So habang nagmo-move yung magma, sinisiksik niya.
When you say magma, para sa akin na, walang understanding about that, you refer to what?
Magma are hot molten material, rock materials.
Which is inside
the volcanoes. Diba? So, pag lumabas yung volcano, it will form a lava or rocks. But before that, it's a hot molten material called magma. So habang yung magma lumalabas, it will kumbaga, sinisiksik niya yung edifice ng volcano, and this movement of magma will generate volcanic earthquakes. So, ibig sabihin, pag maraming volcanic earthquakes, there's a possibility na yung magma umaakyat na siya patas. Yes. So, that's one. Another one is,
hetong mga volcanic earthquakes na to, this can be felt or it can just be recorded and the people around that area will not be able to feel that?
Some of these volcanic earthquakes can be felt by the people. So, nararamdaman nararamdaman siya. Yun yung isa naming gustong isabihin sa mga tao. If they have unusual na thing na nakikita sa volcano.
O kaya yung parang nararamdaman nila na medyo may galaw ng konti. Kunyari, nakaupo ka lang naman dyan. O kaya lalo siguro, later on siguro, we'll have to describe na, okay, pagka ganyan yun, gaano dapat kalayo sila, yung kanilang residence later. Later. So patuloy tayo.
Yung volcanic earthquakes, nararamdaman siya sa paligid ng volcano. And there are many of these volcanic earthquakes. And then another thing is,
and you can register that. You have something there that will monitor. Like for example, I would know if I'm hypertensive because of my blood pressure, so kukunan ako ng BP. Heto, ganun din ang ginagawa ninyo.
So, in medical field, you have the stethoscope. In terms of volcanoes, we put instruments, we call this seismograph. Okay. So for example, in Mayon volcano, we have many seismographs. And these seismographs can detect mga maliliit na movement. So, kahit na hindi siya nararamdaman ng tao, but we have seismograph, and this seismograph can tell us if the earthquakes are happening in the volcano. So, ganun yung ginagawa natin pag monitor. Another thing is,
and before you proceed to the next sign would be, so volcanic earthquakes, lahat ng ating mga active and potentially active volcanoes have seismographs of their own also.
Actually, what we have now are the 8 most active.
So not the 27
not the
yet.
24, or not the 24, but the 8 most active, we have seismographs.
Okay.
So, but if the people, for example, there's an active volcano, Banahaw volcano. Banahaw, we have an instrument. For example, in Mindanao, we have the Leonard volcano in Compostela province. So, if people can detect volcanic earthquakes, they have to report to FIVOX. And then FIVOX will go to there, and then we will put seismograph. That's what happened in Pinatubo. Yung lessons learned natin sa Pinatubo is that sa Pinatubo,
wala tayong nilagay muna.
Wala pa tayong nilalagay. We know that it's an active volcano. But in Pinatubo, in 1991, February of 1991, yung mga katutubo doon, yung mga ATAS na nandun, may nararamdaman sila. And then, yung nararamdaman nila, ni-report nila sa FIVOX. They have this mga madre, mga nuns na nandun sa area nila, nagpasama sila, and then they have reported it to FIVOX. And then the late director, Raimundo Panimbayan, sent a team of geologists and volcanologists to study. And then, yun nga, nalaman ng mga volcanologists natin na merong activity. So, nilagyan siya. Nung masyadong marami na, mukhang malaki yung na-predict nila na medyo malaki yung pagsabak. We need ask the assistance of the mga counterparts natin from international organizations.
Already at that time.
So actually, Pinatubo is a very good example of a volcano na we have predicted and we have lessened its impact in terms of casualties.
Kasi at the time, di ba, nung alam na something's going to big to happen, people were evacuated. So yung point natin ngayon, Jeffrey, yung mga nanonood, nakikinig sa atin, they have to be mindful and watchful of where they are. Lalo na kapag kaalam nila na meron silang mga volcanoes around that area, di ba? So that's one of the objectives of the show. Actually, so tuloy na natin.
Actually, tama yan. They have to know their location. Kasi ang iniisip ng iba, basta may bundok, vulkan. No, hindi naman lahat. So we have to know your geography, your location. Ano ba siya, volcano ba tong tinitingnan namin?
We have what we call a map for that.
We have maps for that.
And how do we inform the viewers na okay, we were going to show a map later?
Actually available siya sa website ng FIVOX. And because of our partnership with the local government units, we have given them the maps for that. Actually, not only the location. For example, if it's an active volcano, you need to know what are the hazards. Is my location will be affected by a volcano?
So after noon, so yung we will go into the hazards later. Pero heto ngayon, isa pa lang yung sinabi mo, volcanic eruptions that will sign na that may be signal that is going to be active. Are there other
Actually, there's also yung steaming.
Yung parang usok na lalabas?
Usok na lalabas. Maybe in the form of steam, or bigla na lang may lumalabas na steam, and then there's something like a gaseous material na sulfur or carbon dioxide na lalabas na maamoy ng mga tao. And then there are reports that there are certain animal behaviors.
Yes.
So for example,
yun yung isa na can animals really, feel na
Yeah.
something's going to be big going on around the area where they
yeah,
are.
for volcanoes, yes. Especially for animals or insects na nagbo-burrow. They are living inside. And then if there's a impending eruption, there will be increase in temperature. So yung increase of temperature, yung mga animals dito, it's unusual, they have to move kasi mainit, get out.
So nagmamigrate sila. So
Nagmamigrate.
that's one of the signs pala na we need to watch out for.
And then in some areas naman, hindi lang steam, but for example, water wells. These water wells are depleted with water. Why? Because of the heat, yung water nagiging steam. So nawawala ngayon yung tubig. So it's unusual for them. So they have to. We're looking at it, and sometimes they are reporting it to FIVOX.
Do you think na we have the capability talaga to be able to monitor all of this right now?
Yes, we have. We have instruments. We have multi-parameter. What we can see here are the instruments we are using in FIVOX. We have multi-parameter system. We can watch the volcano here in FIVOX through IP cameras, and then we have good volcanologists, geologists to do the monitoring.
To do the monitoring. Let's go into, sometimes hetong mga ganito natin has become a tourist destination. Di ba? Like for example, Mount Mayon, parang mga tao gustong-gusto doon and they're even very happy kapag nakikita na nila na lumalabas na lahat na yun. So how are we now in terms of warning these people na hey, you cannot be nearer that area because of this.
There should be no permanent
residents there.
Permanent residents, permanent structures, kasi ito yung mga pinakadelikadong lugar in terms of eruption. So for example, for Mayon volcano, what we have is a 6-kilometer permanent danger zone. So ibig sabihin, from the tip of the volcano and then 6 kilometers
around that
area, dapat walang settlements. Pwede namang gamitin siya for farming, pero sana wag permanent settlements. So itong mga 6-kilometer permanent danger zone, pwede naman siyang, it's the boundary now na for tourism, it's okay naman.
Pero lahat ng ating mga active and potentially active volcanoes, they will really have that 6-kilometer radius.
It depends.
So depende din.
For example, for Taal volcano, it's the whole volcano island.
Na hindi pwede.
Na dapat walang permanent. Dapat walang permanent structure.
So aside from that 6-kilometer radius, are we able to implement that?
Yes. Actually,
or matitigas pa rin ang ulo ng mga kasamahan natin?
May mga lugar, for example, in Taal volcano, talagang may settlement doon. So we have to inform the people, we have to inform the local government units. Kung ayaw man nilang umalis doon, we have to prepare them. Kung sakaling merong impending eruption, we have to move the people. So ito yung dapat enough yung bangka natin doon kasi it's a volcano island. In terms of the Mayon volcano, what we have now is a good partnership with the Albay province. Yung kanilang PDRRMO, they are very good na pag naglabas kami ng warning, totally they will evacuate
nila.
And then yung mga tao doon kasi parang automatic na sa kanila.
Meron tayong parang ginagamit na mga signals, di ba? For volcano, meron tayong mga sinasabi na walang problem, meron tayong sinasabi na it might erupt, and meron tayong yung potential niya. What are this? And do we really place them as markers around that area?
Actually, what we have are alert levels. Alert level 0, alert level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is
5 tayo.
Up to 5. Yung 5, ibig sabihin there's eruption already ongoing. Pag alert level 0, ibig sabihin, what we are detecting are in the normal stage of the volcano.
Kumbaga tulog lang
siya or kalmado lang siya. So alert level 0, we can go on with our activities. If it's alert level 1, there's some unusual. For example, there's an increase in seismicity, there's steaming, merong high content of sulfur, so pwedeng ganun. Pag alert level 3, ibig sabihin, there's an impending eruption. So
Alert level 3, meaning to say impending eruption. So people should be vacating already around when we are alert level 3. Okay.
Actually, yung 0, 1 to 5, we have this alert level in the scientific
parlance.
And then yung local government units, they have their action for this. So, kumbaga, pag sinabi namin alert level 0, they have actions. Alert level 3, they have actions for that.
So, pag alert level number 4?
Alert level number 4, within days, pwede na mag-erupt yung volcano.
So, we can really actually, based on all of this, the signs, your recording of the instruments, will actually give us a very good prediction. Di ba? Parang sa bagyo, alam natin, okay, warning, storm signal number 1, heto yung mangyayari, yun yung gagawin natin. Yes.
Pwede yun. But there are certain eruptions na mahirap siyang i-predict. For example, ito yung mga tinatawag na phreatic eruption.
Phreatic eruptions. Okay.
Ito yung mga eruptions na just like if you are frying, you have this very hot oil, cooking oil, and then you drop in water, and then it will just burst. So, pwedeng ganun yung mangyari. For example, if this is a volcano and there's a hot material inside, and then rain will drop, so it may erupt immediately without any signs
at all.
Pero that's the reason
has it happened to us?
Yes, it has already happened in Mayon. That's the reason why we have the 6-kilometer permanent danger zone. So
that one will really more or less protect already the inhabitants or the residents kasi it might happen.
Yeah, it might happen.
So, pero you are able to identify which of these active volcanoes may have this kind of activity.
Yes. Almost all of the active volcanoes have this. That's why we have this permanent danger zone. For emergency, sana wala sila doon.
Jeffrey, will the height or the size of the volcano has something to do also with the intensity of its eruption or the degree of damage that it can produce?
Not really the scale of the volcano, but it's more on the type of materials na nasa loob niya. For example, if you remember Pinatubo eruption, the magma there is, sabi na natin, high silica content. So these are materials na very eruptive pag siya ay pumutok. That's why we have ash up to Metro Manila, and then there's a very, very big pyroclastic flow. So mamaya siguro pwede natin pakita yun. Very, very big pyroclastic flow, and then that's a very eruptive eruption. For Mayon volcano, what you can see is a very, very beautiful flowing of the lava. Very, very slow, very cinematic.
Kaya hindi mo ba napansin yan, Jeffrey, na yung mga tourists, parang they're parang para sa kanila, yung feeling nila, masayang-masaya sila pag nakikita nila yan during an eruption kasi talagang napakaganda niyan tingnan.
Maganda siyang panoorin at a distance.
At a distance, huwag kang lumapit.
Huwag kang lumapit. So, actually, ako din, when I first saw Mayon volcano erupting, it was amazing, and then talagang maganda siya. But it's very dangerous pag malapit ka. So we have this, you have to watch the volcano outside the permanent danger zone, and then you are safe.
So we were just saying na ito nga yung kanilang lahar, yung mga ganyan na lumalabas. What other things can, be a problem here when a volcano would erupt?
Well, yung mga materials na nilalabas niya, and then the gaseous materials. Diba?
Which can actually be problematic, upper respiratory infections, yung mga ganyan. So, magkakaroon tayo ng mga medical and health-related problems.
Tama. Even the ash, di ba, yung pag tumamas
sa mata mo,
na-inhale natin siya, so delikado din siya. Yung ash is delikado rin sa mga roof ng mga bahay. Pag naipon siya, pwedeng bumagsak. It is also dangerous sa mga aircraft natin. That's why...
Kasi pwedeng bumagsak sila because masisip in
magsisip. That's why if we have an eruption, our first duty is to inform the CAAP, yung aeronautics natin. Kasi they have to warn all the aircrafts na nagpa-fly dun sa area. They have to stop it.
Kung baga, it should be off limits, even you know, even at a very high, you know, they cannot do that because of the possibility na hihigupin siya, di ba?
Yung ash,
yung ash
delikado sa turbine.
So
So
niya.
that's one of the hazards. Lava flow, dahil sa mga hot molten materials called lava, this is very hot, lahat ng dadahanan niya will be burned. We have this pyroclastic flow, a very, very turbulent, very, very fast-moving combination of ash and rocks and nagfo-flow from the edifice of the volcano. It may run more than 60 kilometers per hour. So
how long should the people, you know, like for example, so they're living around that area, so ngayon, tapos na yung eruption natin. So, would they be allowed to go back after a month or after a week?
They have to listen to FIVOLs.
All right.
So, we have to lower down the alert levels before they can go with their normal
So,
life.
ibig sabihin, kailangan they have to wait
Yeah,
for
they have
advisory
to wait.
from you.
Yes, yes.
Otherwise, it might endanger them.
Yes,
And,
yes.
you know, and even their animals, no, and pets, na pupunta sila
Ako
doon.
yun yung maganda. In Albay, not only people, even their carabaos, their goats,
Dinabakit talaga.
din nila.
Dinadala nila
Dinadala
lahat yun.
nila.
No? We'll take a very short break and when we return, we'll continue on talking about the hazards. Number two, we'd like to also know and understand paano how people can keep themselves safe.
Yes.
Diba? Kasi yun yung pinakamahalaga. Ano pwedeng gawin nila para maging prepared sila. Please stay tuned and we will return after this short break.
This nation lies in the Pacific Ring of Fire, a region that has produced some of the most destructive earthquakes and volcanic eruptions in history. This country hosts 23 active volcanoes and has experienced more than 90 destructive earthquakes in the last 400 years. The ever-present threat from these forces of nature has prompted the creation of a national agency that will study, investigate, and monitor geotectonic and volcanic activities that may pose risk to public safety. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, is a service institute of the Department of Science and Technology that is principally mandated to mitigate disasters that may arise from volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, tsunamis, and other related geotectonic phenomena. Its vision is to become a leading global science and technology institution in helping develop communities safe from and resilient to volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, tsunamis, and other related hazards. Its mission, on the other hand, is to provide timely and quality information and services for warning, disaster preparedness, and mitigation. It aims to achieve this by developing and applying technologies designed to monitor and accurately predict and determine areas prone to volcano and earthquake hazards, and capacity enhancement for comprehensive disaster risk reduction.
Kuya Jose, ano ang gagawin mo kung ang pinakamalapit na bulkan ay puputok?
Maglikas sa malayong lugar. Backwit ka agad lahat ng gamit ka dadalhin, yung sariling gamit lang.
Actually, I got a shock at the first time, and then I have to find out where I have to escape or the hiding for myself. There is a first step.
Kailangan po wag magpanik. Maghanap po ng malayo. Kailangan malayo po dun sa bulkan. Yun yung pinaka-importante po. Wag magpanik. Para po, yung sabi nga nila, pag nagpanik ka, mawawala po yung lalo ka mandidisgrasya.
Siyempre, magtatago ako sa building na depende kasi kung saan ako abutan eh. Halimbawa, nabutan ako sa SM, malapit sa gilid. Di siyempre, papasok ako sa loob ng SM.
So, paano ka kaya maapektuhan ito?
Siyempre, kanyan eh. Kanang kalikasan yan eh. Kailangan nakahanda ka bawat isang paraan. Mayroon kang pagpahandaan.
First the shock and then shaking my body at the same time. So just I looking for where I hiding by myself.
Siguro unang-una po yung kabuhayan po. Number one po yun. Mahirap po siguro, kaya lang kailangan natin tanggapin. Maaring matagal pero siguro makakaahon din.
Sa personal, siyempre malaking epekto yan kasi hindi mo alam kung mabubuhay ka o ano eh. Halimbawa, kahit na nag-intention ka na tumago, hindi mo alam ang ano mo eh. Yung oras na yon, yung time na yon, hindi mo alam ang magiging kalagayan mo. So, bahala na ang Diyos doon sa iyo. Siyempre, siyempre, dapat magdadasal ka. Hingi ka ng tulong sa Kanya kasi sa sarili natin wala tayong magagawa.
Welcome back to Dynamic Living, the Total You. For those who just opened their television sets or their internet or their radios, we are still here at the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology. This is Dr. Jean, your host. We are discussing here understanding volcanoes with our expert, Mr. Jeffrey Perez. So ngayon, Jeffrey, so alam na natin kung ano yung mga dangers, di ba? Diniscuss na natin yun So how do we keep safe? Yun yung mahalaga, more important than understanding the movement of the volcanoes would be how do we keep ourselves safe?
Actually, people should be aware and then they should prepare. Yun yung kailangan nila. Awareness means they need to know what are the hazards na pwedeng mangyari sa kanila. So, people living around the volcanoes, they should be informed what are the hazards that can affect them and gaano kalaki yung hazard na yun, ano yung pwedeng maka-apekto sa kanila. So, sabi nga ni Director Solido, they should imagine what will happen to them. For example, if there's a volcanic eruption in Mayon volcano, how far will the lava go? So, kasi yun, nakikita naman yan sa mga hazard maps na pinoproduce ng FIVOX. So, FIVOX have prepared hazard maps. These are available sa website ng FIVOX, and the local government units, they have their copies of these hazard maps. So, itong mga hazard maps nito, these are very important. They can protect your life using these hazard maps. And then,
pag sinabi mong hazard map, it's actually a guide on the locality. Like, for example, okay, this is the location where the volcano is, and this is how far or how near you can be.
Yes, and then
yung arong surrounding areas mo.
And then it will tell you the dangerous area. So, ano yung mga delikadong lugar, pinapakita doon sa hazard maps. And then you have to avoid that area. Yeah,
Okay.
very, very simple, but you have to learn how to use
Kung
it.
baga, ako ay sumakay ng eroplano, palagi naman ako pinapakitaan, di ba? Ng ano ang dapat kong gawin, should there be, problems.
Yes.
So it's just like that when you are living around that area.
Around that area. And then they need to follow also. For example, kasi in Mayon volcano, the local government units have already installed mga signages indicating that you are going beyond the 6-kilometer permanent danger zone or you are entering the 6 kilometers. So they have to follow that.
Huwag matigas ang ulo.
Yeah, huwag
Minsan kasi matigas ang ulo.
Yeah, it's one of the, yun yung problem namin. For example, if yung Mayong volcano puputok siya, people are very curious kung saan talaga pumapasok nila without knowing the danger. Actually, kahit kami, as a geologist, we are parang exciting for us to see the nag-eruption, but we know the danger. Pwede kasing bigla-bigla pumutok yan na nandun kami sa gitna ng volcano. Maapektahan talaga kami.
So, aside from, awareness, aside from, knowing kung ano dapat at saan ka lang, in terms of preparation also is, ano dapat nilang bitbitin pagka nakita na nila. Ang difference kasi nito sa ating mga volcanic eruptions na yan, napapredict kasi, di ba? So, more or less, napo-forecast ninyo siya na, okay, in this number of days, considering the warning signals and everything. So, people should be forewarned already. So, what are the things that they need to prepare themselves, aside from vacating themselves and vacating everything that they have?
What they need are the emergency bags, mga first aid kits, emergency packs. Ito yung mga, kumbaga, pagdating ng emergency, you just grab your bag and then do the and get that, bring it to the evacuation areas. Actually, sa ibang communities, alam na nila kung saan yung evacuation area nila. They know it already. Tapos, alam nila, for example, within their family, dito tayo magkikita. So, alam na dapat yun ng mga tao.
And including siguro yung valuables nila, documents.
Yeah, documents.
You should place it na kumbaga hindi na matataranta. Parang sa sunog na kung God forbids there's a fire that will happen, alam mo yung exit area mo. Alam mo yung hahaltakin mo, hindi yung patityan mo, bubuhatin mo.
Kailangan i-classify mo,
diba? So hindi dapat. Yun yung preparedness na gawa natin. What agencies are helping you in terms of preparing our people should there be an eventuality like this?
Actually, ang malaking tulong talaga sa amin is the LG, the local government units down to barangay. Kasi sila yung nakakausap talaga sa communities. So we are partnering with the local government units, barangay officials para ma-inform yung mga tao. And i-explain sa kanila what does our warning means. Diba? Kasi maglalabas kami ng warning, people should know. Anong ibig sabihin ng warning niya? So,
yun yung mahalaga. Kung baga, pag sinabi na heto yung alert level natin, ano ang kanyang action at kung ano ang dapat nilang gawin. How related or is there a relationship between a volcanic eruption and an earthquake or a volcano and earthquakes? Meron ba silang, kung baga, magkapatid ba sila, magkarugtong sila, or hindi naman?
In terms of volcanic earthquakes, they are kumbaga magkamag-anak sila. Kasi volcanic earthquakes may tell us that there's an impending eruption. Pwedeng ganun yan. But there are other studies, for example, if you can remember 1991 Pinatubo eruption, but less than 1 year before that, nangyari yung 1990 earthquake. So, may ibang mga scientists, they believe that because of the large earthquake na 1990, naulog yung magma chamber ng Pinatubo. And then it caused the eruption. May mga ganung studies. So, it's also a dilemma for us na kasi yung mga tao, for example, yung nangyari sa Batangas last April, wherein there's a lot of earthquakes, and then people are very worried, puputak ba yung Taal volcano? So far naman, wala kaming nakikitang unusual na
activity doon sa
Taal volcano.
Which is actually good news for us. No? So, heto naman how are we in terms of comparing ourselves with our neighboring countries who are also, in the Pacific Rim? Would you say na tayo, ang PhilVox natin, our equipment is comparable, our scientists are very comparable and at par. So how would we rate ourselves in terms of, detecting and understanding our volcanoes?
Let's I will give you an example. Taal volcano is one of the most equipped volcano for the whole world. So, many scientists are going to Taal volcano to study Taal volcano.
Amazing.
So, it's a partnership between the Filipino scientists and international scientists. We are learning from them, and they are also learning from us. So, it's a collaborative effort. In terms of equipment, I think we are at par with with the first world countries. We are proud to say na our volcanologists and geologists are very internationally renowned. We are, actually for us, we are trained also outside the Philippines and within the Philippines. And we also contribute to the volcanology study for the whole world. So we are contributing. Even, for example, the Mount Pinatubo eruption, it attracted lots of international scientists. And for that eruption alone, ganyang kakapal na publications yung na-produce for that eruption alone. So it's a partnership.
That means, kung baga, hindi naman tayo behind in terms of knowledge, technology, and everything. No? So we have gone a long way, so to speak. Nung araw kasi, Jeffrey, parang binago kasi yan from Pag-asa, naging PhilVox siya, di ba? And the mandate has changed, di ba? So would you say na the government, with all the new policies that are being in place, its target is actually to improve further our services?
Actually, the volcanology part of PhilVox, it started with the Commission of Volcanology. When the Camiguin or Hibok erupted in 1960s. So that prompted the Philippine government to have a commission on volcanology. And then the earthquake part of PhilVox, it was first by the Manila Observatory, yung mga Jesuits na priests, and then transferred to Pag-asa, and then the seismology part of Pag-asa was transferred to PhilVox. So, unti-unti, and then there are lots of laws. For example, yung RA 10121, yung Disaster Risk Reduction
Yes.
Act of the Philippines, it tells us that communities should be preparing. So, more on the risk reduction na tayo.
Yes, kasi dapat ang atin is hindi naman natin talaga yan ma-prevent, no?
Yeah.
Kasi it's really there and it's gonna happen. There's no way na pwede natin sabihin, hoy, tumigil ka dyan, di ba? So it's more of how are we going to reduce the risks and the hazards and the casualties, di ba?
Yes. And then the resiliency.
And the resiliency.
Yung agad-agad dapat nakakabalik tayo, di ba?
So para tuloy-tuloy na naman yung
Tuloy-tuloy.
ating livelihood. So pag sinabi natin na, okay, meron bang bright side to a volcanic eruption?
Okay, what's the bright side? First, nagiging fertile yung lupa. So, for example, what you can see in the most active volcanoes, they are fertile with fertile land. Masasarap yung pineapples, gulay, di ba? Very fertile. And then, it's also a source of geothermal energy. Yung mga
hot springs.
Hot springs, and then yung geothermal energy na
Magpuproduce
this is our
electricity also.
renewable source of energy. Mas less yung pollution na nakakreate, or very zero yung pollution na nakakreate. So it's very good for us. Tourism is
Yeah, it really attracts a lot of people
For
there.
example, in Taal Volcano, talagang pag pumunta ka doon, puro turista yung makikita mo.
Yes, that's true. I've been there, and for you to be able to, view it, kahit magsasakay ka ng mga bangka nila, that's one beautiful experience already.
And then you have to climb, and then you will see another crater within.
So now let's talk on one hand now, the people working behind, like you. So, sasabihin ba natin na kayo ngayon, mas aware yung ating mga kabataan to be going into your specialty or your degree para sila, they can be of help also?
Actually, in terms of yung popularity of geology, medyo talagang mababa siya compared to nursing, to engineering. But yun, ina-attract namin, or we are convincing lots of high school students pag bumibisita sila sa amin dito sa office na tingnan natin yung another course. This is the geology. At sabi nga namin, if you're a chemist, a biologist, your laboratory is inside your room. Pero pag geologist ka,
You go outside.
you go outside. That's your laboratory. My laboratory is the volcano. My laboratory is the whole Philippines. Very interesting. Actually, in terms of studies sa geology, we have to learn, we have to study marami pa dito sa Pilipinas.
So, malawak pa ang pwedeng marating,
Yeah,
no?
malawak
And
pa.
there's a bright future for those students who would want to go into this kind of specialty.
And then, hindi lang kasi social science. For example, for my case, I'm doing the hard science. I can discuss this more technically. But my objective now is to let my science magamit ng tao. So you have to make it more
Convert
simpler.
it so that people will benefit from
Yes,
it.
yes,
It's not just something na textbook siya, kundi
textbook.
something na you can translate.
Yeah, you can translate, and then people can use it already.
What are the challenges that you face now as a geologist?
The first challenge is the manpower. Talagang medyo kakanti pa kami dito sa FIVOX. We have to have more geologists na talaga mag-aaral dito. More geologists, more engineers. Hindi lang kasi ang FIVOX is not only composed of geologists. We have civil engineers, physicists, mathematicians, na lahat ng mga different courses na to, we will converge into one idea to study the volcano. So, maraming mga kailangan pa kami dito, the manpower, and if you want to learn more, kasi basically ang naaaral natin dito is yung mga most active volcanoes. What about yung other?
Yung mga inactive. Which brings me to the next question. Is there a possibility also na hetong active ngayon or potentially active in the coming years, they will just, remain inactive also?
Yes,
and
there's
wala na.
Yeah. Ibig sabihin, pag ganun na, naubos na yung source ng magma niya sa loob. So, pwede naman
So,
yun.
pwede pala yun na there's a depletion of the magma.
Depletion.
And so, that means na okay na siya. And it will be quiet for 100 years or 200
millions
years
of
or
years,
millions of
yeah,
years.
yeah.
So, pwede pala siyang ganon eh. So, what can now, let's go to the practical side of it. What can the community do for them to be able to help you, kayo nandito sa PhilVox, sa inyong mga ginagawa, at para na rin sa kabutihan ng mga mamamayan?
Okay, first is it's a partnership. Partnership between FIVOX and community. We are trying to save their lives. Hindi naman kami taga doon eh. Yung sinasabi namin, hindi naman kami taga dyan sa inyo. So we have to help you and you have to help us. First is protection of our instruments. Sana naiintindihan nila na these instruments can save their lives. Kasi
Is there also a probability na pag nakikita nila when they're viewing that area and they look at these instruments na they are not so careful and watchful over it?
Yeah, they are not careful kung minsan yung kinukuha pa nila. But, curiosity siguro, and then these instruments are, sabi na natin medyo may kamahalan. So, siguro nagiging interesado sila sa mga solar panels, they can use it. So, sana yun, protektahan natin. Kasi that can save their lives. So, yun yung una namin.
Not just their lives, it's the people around them and the future generation.
So, yun. So, sana tulungan kami doon. And then, they should follow kung ano yung sinasabi naming alert levels. Wag nang, yun nga, sabi niyo mama, wag na masyadong makulit. Pag sinabi ng governor na mag-evacuate tayo, evacuate na tayo. We're trying to do that. May mga talagang, because of the continuous information dissemination natin, mas madali nating naintindihan ng mga tao.
Like right now, here in your area, no, makikita natin marami kayong mga ways of showing somebody to understand what you're doing, what about it. No? So it's also a very good idea siguro for all types of students, di ba? Hindi lang yung sa elementary at saka sa high school, even college students, and even yung mga ordinary citizens to come here and learn from it.
Yes. Open naman tong office namin. So they can visit our exhibit here.
And you are 24/7 open yung office ninyo, not this area, but your office so that they can easily coordinate with you. If, kunyari, isang mamamayan, may na-feel siya at may nakita siyang kakaiba.
They just call our contact numbers.
So you have a hotline for
we have a hotline. And then, 24 hours, especially for the monitoring. Yung earthquake and volcano monitoring, there are 24 hours. Actually, not only here, they can also visit our seismic stations within the volcano. So, for example, here you can see yung mga setups, but actually they are on the field. So makikita nila meron kaming offices din doon. They can also visit that. And they can talk to the resident volcanologists.
So bawat may area din na meron kayong resident volcanologists. So in other words, it's not really that very difficult for them to coordinate and learn because there are people around that area manning it na kasing galing mo din, no?
Mas magaling pa sa akin.
Mas magaling pa, okay. So we'll have to see about that, no? Napakabilis po ng oras ko dito. I'd like to thank Jeffrey for informing us. You know, it has been very informative even for myself, no? What is your message now to our viewers?
Sabi nga ni Director Solidum, the Philippines is blessed with many hazards. We have typhoons, storm surge, flooding, landslides, tsunami, earthquakes, and volcanoes. But we have to live with that. We have to prepare, we have to be aware, and sana yung mga tao ay sa taas na ng awareness, especially nakikita kasi namin yung awareness ng mga bata. Sana yung generation ngayon will be a generation na disaster risk
parang proactive na sila at saka mas aware sila.
Mas aware. Hindi na tayo dun sa rescuers, but people are now rescuers bawat isa.
So, ibig sabihin, dapat umabot na tayo sa punto na hindi lang pang sarili natin, kundi pang kalahatan yung ating isipin. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. Sabi nga po sa Biblia, in Psalm 95 verse 4, in His hands are the depths of the earth. So, even all of these are creations, beautiful creations of God, but we can use it not just, for our safekeeping or for beauty, but then to glorify His name. Magandang araw po sa ating lahat.
If you have been blessed by this program, share hope and help us continue to bring hope everywhere. Send your donations to South Philippine Union Conference through any of the bank details shown here. Hope Channel, sharing love, changing lives.
I am a land of contrasts. My heart beats for my people. I know 30 different words for friendship. And show it in 300 different ways. I rise through the rubble of devastation. And break through the chains of fear. I speak for the unheard. I am the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Tableta para mawala ni. Maraga pa muhipoy man akong mga bukton. Ay, may nalang niapod ko yung tableta para ni. Ay, marag wala gani may angay akong tiyan sa akong pamahaw ba? Naman po siguro ko'y tambal para sapto sa tiyan diri.
Hops! Kadali lang higala! Nahibalo ka ba nga pwede ka madaot sa dili sakto nga pagtumar og mga medisina? Tungod kay sintetika ni, kikinahanglan gayud ang medical advice sa pagtumar ni ini. Busa, sulahi usa ang natural remedies. Ang Natural Remedies Encyclopedia adunay kapin sa 11,000 ka home remedies para sa sobra sa shitis-shitos ka mga balatian. Palit na sa Natural Remedies Encyclopedia. Sa Natural Remedies Encyclopedia, siguradong mas safe and healthy ka.
Every hour of every day, any family member can watch. Hope Channel is educational, inspirational, focusing on lifestyle and health, and offering programs to young and older alike that teach health, culture, positive values, and spirituality. Welcome to Hope Channel.
I am truly an escape from the taunting toy. I am in a country born of color and sound. I am a spectrum of diversity and community. My smile radiates compassion. My touch eases pain. My speech sparks faith. I exist in a world of perfections and frailties. Of abandon and limitation. I seek to spread hope. I am the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Of course.
Sometimes. Why not? Yes. My brother.
My mom. And of course, my dad.
The policeman. Boss. My teachers.
My grandpa.
When I'm threatened.
When he stares at me.
When I hear his whistle. When they raise their voice.
When they call me by my full name.
Whenever he calls me like this. Hey, come on, bro. Because they're the love.
He's older than me.
My grade would be at stake.
They're my parents.
Since I'm younger than him, I'll be fired if I don't. You know.
Obedience
Is more than a state of being obedient.
It is our
Willful practice of obedience. Conscious
decision
to obey policemen
To obey
and
our
other
parents.
teachers. It means submission to the rules
which are meant.
to keep us safe. Likewise,
Obedience.
is a manifestation of love. I respect my
I love
parents.
my mom. I love my
Older
dad.
brother.
Besides,
It says we obey
our grandparents,
our older brother, people of authority, our
our
boss,
parents, in the Lord.
Lord.
For this is
That's right.
Against the backdrop of my turbulent past, my outstretched arms convey a welcome. Within the embrace of my homes, truth is echoed in a song. Grace is displayed in acceptance. A life is changed. My heart is seen in giving, in caring, in reaching, I am the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Aduna ka ba'y buot masayran sa kinabuhi? Aduna ba'y kagawasan sa sala o kasakit? May paglaong pa ba ang mga minatay? Unsa ba'y padulngan sa kalibutan? Mga higala, ipangutana kay pastor. Ipadala ang imong mga pangutana ug tubagon ni pastor gamit ang Biblia. Pangutana Pastor, usa ka serbisyong gidalit kaninyo gikan sa Hope Channel.
My people make me beautiful. My history reveals my strength. Adversity taught me the power of forgiveness. I have found my freedom. My heart is open. My hands reach out. I am the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Hope broadcasts everywhere in the world with 10 global channels and is affiliated with more than 50 production studios on 6 continents. The result? Hope Channel provides a diverse programming mix in many of the world's major languages. Hope is more than great television. It's a donor-supported ministry that's part of an international family of educational institutions, churches, retail outlets and hospitals. Welcome to Hope Channel.